Good evening and welcome to our Year 9 Options Process 2021. My name is Oliver Forster, I'm the Vice Principal of OAA and it is my pleasure to be the person who is responsible for our options process for this year. What we want students, parents and carers to feel confident about is that they're making great choices for the future. So what will your studying look like over Year 10 and Year 11? Well, firstly, there are a number of compulsory subjects that all students will follow in school. These are the foundations for future study, training and employment. So for English, Maths and Science, you will have 8 hours a fortnight in each subject. All students will then also have an hour a fortnight of personal social health education and core RE, and also an hour a week of core physical education. Alongside this, students will select to study an additional 4 subjects, option subjects. The great thing about this is it allows you to personalise your curriculum, to really specialise in those subjects that you enjoy and that will really prepare you for your next steps. Within that options process, all students will study at least one EBAC or English Baccalaureate subject. These are subjects which are all GCSEs, they're 100% exam based and they support students in their future study and success. They are expected by many education, training, employment providers going forwards, and as we can see here, they involve studying either computer science, French, geography, German, history or triple science. However, many students here will study more than one of these subjects. Also, all of our students study at least one vocational subject. These are subjects which are focused on understanding and developing skills that support the world of work. Big difference between these and GCSE subjects is that they all involve coursework modules. So you'll be working on those through the course of the 2 years. Also, the exam modules are not necessarily taken at the end of Year 11, but being taken through Year 10 and Year 11. Where they are similar to GCSEs, though, is that they are valued by education providers, training providers and employers. So these include subjects such as digital IT, enterprise, hospitality and catering, and health and social care. Also, many of our students will study a performance or creative subject. These are very popular choices at OIA. They all have elements of exam and coursework elements too. They're brilliant subjects for following interests and for developing particular skills, for example, group work and teamwork and performance. They also allow you to challenge yourselves. One of the things that all of these subjects have in common is that they require commitment of time and effort outside of the classroom. That could be, for example, going to art club to complete a picture. It might be rehearsing for a performance or dance or playing as part of a sports team. How does the options process work? Well, firstly, there are these 4 option blocks. And in each option block, students will put their first choice subject and a second choice subject. You can also put a third choice subject, but that's not compulsory. In one of the 4 option blocks, you must select at least one EBAC subject, and in another option block, select at least one vocational subject. You will then select an additional 2 subjects. I will ask you then to put at least one of your top subjects. This top subject would be your favourite. It might be the one that you really have a passion and an interest in. For the question, is every combination of subjects possible? Well, unfortunately, the answer to that is simply no. You'd have to have every subject in every option block to be able to do that, and that isn't possible. But what we have done is designed our option blocks to have combinations of subjects which many students traditionally follow and would like to study. Do our students get every one of their choices? Well, again, it isn't always possible, but we do aim as much as is possible to give every student their top choice. Within each option block, we then try and give students their first choice. If that isn't possible, we look at their second choices and their third choices. But what is really important is that we give advice and guidance to make sure that students are making those good choices all the way through. We do look at attitude to learning. We make the assumption that if a student has shown a brilliant attitude to learning in a subject over years 7, 8 and 9, then they will probably take that same attitude into that subject into year 10 and year 11 and be very successful. Similarly, if a student maybe hasn't shown the best attitude to learning in a subject, we would be wanting to have that conversation with them and with parents about why that might be a subject that they want to study and what might be different going forwards. Of course, all the way through this process, we involve parents and carers in those discussions. How do you pick your subjects? Well, the most important thing is focus on those strengths and interests. Maybe think about which subjects you've been successful in the past, maybe you've done very well in assessments in them. Think about subjects that really, really interest you. Maybe they're subjects which you are interested in outside of school as well. Also, please do think about your future plans. We're not expecting students to know what career exactly they want to go into in the future whilst in year 9, but you may have a think about what sorts of areas you're interested in. Maybe if you're interested in engineering, doing design and technology would be a very good choice. Maybe if you're potentially interested in going to the fields of care and medicine, then maybe health and social care or triple science would be very good options for you. So do have a think about that. Also, do have a think about how subjects are assessed. Maybe you're somebody who thrives in examinations. Maybe you're somebody who likes to be able to focus on their coursework over an extended period of time. So it is something that's well worth considering. I would say, please don't pick it based on what your friends are doing. They may well have different strengths and interests and future plans. Also, please don't pick it based on your teachers. You may well have teachers who you particularly enjoy their teaching and do very well with them, but there's no guarantee you would have that teacher in year 10. So do focus on your own strengths and interests. A few points. As you'll be aware, we support our students with their literacy and SEND needs all the way through Key Stage 3, and that continues in Key Stage 4. In one of our option blocks, we have a literacy and AIM group. Within this group, students focus on their literacy development, which will support them in their other subjects such as English. They do that for 3 hours a fortnight. The other 3 hours of the option block, they spend doing what's called the AIM Award, which develops life skills, which really support students for moving forward beyond 16. In addition to that, we have the Learning Zone. The Learning Zone is one option block where students will, instead of studying a traditional subject, will use that time to support them in being successful in their remaining subjects. And that zone is run by Miss Tunnicliffe, who is our Learning Zone mentor. For students for literacy and the Learning Zone, an invitation is needed, either from myself or from Miss Marriott, our Senko, and we will always discuss that with parents and carers in advance. But it is important to note that all students get the advice and guidance that they need to make those really, really good choices for themselves. So with the timeline for the options process, the first thing and the most important thing is please return the options form by Friday, the 19th of March. That options form is available on the website, but if you would like it to be posted out to you, please just contact reception and we will do so. We then review option choices by the 1st of April, and all students are interviewed by a member of the senior leadership team by Friday, the 14th of May. If any changes are needed to options choices, parents and carers will be contacted and of course will be involved in those discussions. We will then know which subjects we are able to run by Friday the 11th of June. If a subject could not run, and of course we are aiming for all subjects to run, but if it could not, then we would contact all students who might be affected and their parents as soon as we can. We will then send out a letter by Friday the 25th of June to confirm options choices for next year. At that point, all I need to do is say thank you ever so much for your time and for listening. I'll remind you of that key date, Friday the 19th of March, which is the date to return the options forms. And please would suggest that you have a read through the options booklet, which is available on the website, and also have a look at the videos that our subject leaders and teachers have prepared, telling you a little bit more about what their subjects are like in years 10 and years 11. Thank you very much.